I have the two latest fragrance releases from the house of Afnan, Turathi Electric, and Reef. And today I am partnering with Afnan to share my thoughts and give you guys a full review of both. And the first fragrance that we're going to talk about is Turathi Electric. This is the one I've been seeing get the most hype. I've actually never tried a Turathi fragrance before, at least not that I remember. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons with this and Blue Talisman. So let's see. The notes in Turathi Electric are going to be bergamot, lemon, pink grapefruit, pear, mandarin, orange, apple, cedarwood. That's a very wide spray, by the way. Orange blossom, vanilla, amber, musk, and embrafix. And how this opens Turathi Electric, I want to say just immediately that it is definitely, most definitely a twist. It is not a one-to-one copy of Blue Talisman. Instantly, Turathi Electric feels denser, sweeter, thicker, with a much more dominant pear note than Blue Talisman. It's like this very juicy, ripe, gorgeous pear. But at the same time, you do get those other fruity notes as well, like the apple. The apple is pretty juicy too, but you get that nice zesty kick from the grapefruit. Almost something a bit ginger-like here as well. It's kind of airy and has this aquatic quality about it. The opening is very attention-grabbing, especially on the skin. It really quickly warms up and you start to feel more of those base notes. The warmth from the amber and the musk. It's less fruity on the skin and you do find some kind of clean elements as well. It just feels like a very balanced scent. It's a good split between the fruitiness, the warmth, and the cleanness. It gives it some complexity and depth. Not so like singularly faceted. It's masculine too, and I would say it feels more masculine to me than Blue Talisman. This is not something that I would reach for, but I can wear Blue Talisman. It feels very summery too. You get this kind of tropical edge from the fruitiness, but once again, masculine. But it is pretty versatile. I would even say that you could wear this in the office if you liked. It definitely would be a very unique office scent. If you go light on the trigger, of course, this is a pretty strong performing scent. So like I said, a twist on that DNA, but the kicker is this is going to be much stronger performing. This is a beast mode scent. Blue Talisman isn't so light, but this is definitely stronger, longer lasting. You'll easily get an 8+ hour performance with Turathi Electric with a strong projection. And it's just one of those types of scents that feels happy and joyful, very uplifting, bubbly too, in a very manly way, if that makes sense. Really good, and I think it's worth the hype 100%, Turathi Electric. But now we're gonna take a moment to talk about the next release, which is Reef. And I don't know why I haven't heard hardly anyone talking about this one. And this is completely an original creation from Afnan. The notes in Reef, you'll find black currant, orange, citron, mint, coriander with grapefruit and apricot, with basil, rose, violet leaf, and fig, with dates and brett and amberwood. Now tell me that does not sound super interesting. That is a note breakdown to die for. Oh my gosh. And the opening of this, of Reef, is mint galore. If you are a fan of minty fragrances, this is one that you have to try because the opening is just going to get you. It opens with this burst of energy, if that makes sense. Like it really just wakes you up and gets you going. If you spray this in the morning, you don't even need your coffee. It's actually more electric than Turathi Electric, I would say. And on skin, this is fabulous. I've seen some people comparing this to Pacific Chill, but it's also a giant twist, way more of a twist than Turathi Electric. This is maybe like 20% of Pacific Chill. This is more about mint, creamy citruses, and as it dries, you get this really strong apricot note, and also into the mid, the basil starts to appear a bit more too, but the opening is just all about mint, but then you'll start to find that other kind of greenness, herbaceous note of basil. It's very unique and so good. I can't. Also the fig in here, and it has this sweet rose and the dates. Guys, there's so many interesting notes in this. The date note is minimal at first, but as it goes into the dry down, it slowly unveils this almost kind of sticky texture like molasses. I love it. I think it's more unisex leaning than Turathi Electric. I just love the combination of the dates and that peachy apricot. Once again, just so beautifully balanced. It feels like a vacation in the Greek islands. And I have to say, I like Rare Reef more than I like Turathi Electric. They're both fantastic, but if I had to pick just one, I would go with this one just because it's a bit more unique to me. And it just has some of my favorite notes. You know, we have fig, we have that apricot, and once again, the dates and the rose too. Really, this deserves way more hype than it is getting currently. All the attention is on Turathi Electric, but Rare Reef is totally worth checking out. Don't sleep on it. It's really good for like a vacation-y, happy scent. I will say that Turathi Electric is going to be more versatile than Rare Reef. This is a bit more on the tropical side, more summery, versus Trothy Electric. Like I said, you could probably wear it to the office. You could dress it up a bit more. Rare Reef is also a very strong performing scent. I would say once again, like 8+ hours of performance with the most addictive head-turning sillage because it's just so happy. You know, it's like when a fragrance makes you feel good, it just lifts up your mood. It's really hard for people around you not to notice and to not comment on it. I really feel like Rare Reef is going to be a huge compliment getter for people. It kind of gets a bit blue as it dries on the skin, leaving it with just a slightly masculine edge. It's definitely different and also way more transformative than Turathi Electric was. Turathi Electric was a bit more linear as it dries. This one really transforms and kind of shows you different layers to the scent. Both are great, super affordable options with sticking power. I say they both get my stamp of approval. So that was just my review of the 2 new fragrances from Afnan, Turathi Electric and Rare Reef. Please leave a comment down below if you're interested in trying either of these fragrances. What is your favorite fragrance from Afnan? I would love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.